damage in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and these moving off to the northeast and east. Now let's take a look at some damage. Again, this was just about an hour to an hour and a half ago. As we roll this, there's the actual tornado right there in Nashville, in downtown Nashville, and it's ironic. Meteorologist friend of mine and I were just talking less than 24 hours ago what we thought the effects would be if a tornado struck a downtown metropolitan area, and unfortunately we got our answer the very next day. Again, there's some of the buildings. This is not live, by the way, but it occurred just about an hour to an hour and a half ago when a significant tornado, or appears to be a fairly significant tornado, moved through downtown Nashville. And again, we've been watching some of the news channels via satellite throughout the afternoon, and there appears to be a considerable amount of damage in Nashville. As Brian said, it's been reported many as 100 people have been injured. No reports yet on any fatalities. So again, a very volatile situation through the Tennessee Valley, and we even talked about that yesterday as well, that there would probably be a significant outbreak of severe storms through the Tennessee Valley. Storm Prediction Center once again had that area in high risk. All right, let's go back to the maps here, and we'll talk a little bit about our weather briefly. And again,
ABC's Robert Hager.
It's everyone's greatest fear, a tornado making a direct hit on the downtown area of a big city. As residents run for cover, this one touches down east of Nashville first and then skips through the city. And early reports talk of as many as 100 people injured and a 3 to 4 mile wide swath of damage. Tennessee's governor declares the city a disaster area. And there are reports of collapsed roofs, windows blown out of buildings over a widespread area, out of hotels, the arts center, and other structures. Many of the injuries from flying glass, and local hospitals are on alert, preparing triage areas. Eyewitness reports.
A young man just about 15 minutes ago was trapped underneath a tree. Rescue crews, for at least, I've been here for about 5-10 minutes, worked to get him out.
I was watching transformers blow out west here, and when it got to the power company over here and some blew in there, that's when I headed towards the inside of the building.
Anything from cuts all over the faces. I think there was one maybe had a broken arm. Basically, it was glass from buildings or people that was on maybe a 2 or 3 story building that had fallen or something had collapsed at this time.
There appear to have been several tornadoes in the area as a strong frontal system and thunderstorms moved through a wide area around Nashville, fueled by warm, moist air and a very strong 100-mile-an-hour southern jet stream moving high above.
There is certainly all kinds of debris, just garbage, litter everywhere, every direction you look, broken glass.
If you see anything at all threatening outside your window right now, please go ahead and take cover, because there's almost more going on here in Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky right now than we can keep track of.
Rescue workers run to help a victim trapped under a tree, bringing intravenous fluids, equipment to pry him loose. Others ride the storm out, huddled in basements. Trees down everywhere and electric lines down too. Skies continue dark in Nashville. The city may not be out of the woods yet, and it'll take hours to assess the damage, physical and human. One more episode in this violent spring in the southeast. Robert Hager, NBC News, reporting.
This evening's Nashville tornado followed killer storms that struck other parts of Tennessee, Kentucky, and Arkansas earlier today. NBC's Frederica Whitfield has been following those twisters.
For the third time in 30 years, the tiny farm town of Manila, Arkansas, population 2,900, is picking up the pieces after being hit by a tornado. It was just after 3 o'clock this morning when most residents in Manila were awakened by the scream of warning sirens.
About 20 seconds and everything gone.
100 homes were destroyed or damaged, 23 people injured, and 2 children were killed. 3-year-old Casey Lomax and his 5-year-old sister Brittany were sleeping in what was their trailer home when the storm hit. 1 hour later, it's believed the same tornado touched down again, 50 miles away in Dyer County, Tennessee.
It just all happened so fast, it's just almost hard to imagine.
2 more people, again in a trailer, were killed. The bodies of Paul and Peggy Colwick were blown 250 feet away from their mobile home, which used to be located next to this brick house.
This was a big brick home with a basement, and the 2 people that were in the trailer were found out in the field, and the people that were in the brick home were in the basement, and they're okay, they're alive.
It's too early for damage estimates in either Tennessee or Arkansas, but the governors of both states have declared several counties disaster areas and promised speedy assistance beginning tomorrow. Frederica Whitfield, NBC News, Manila, Arkansas.
We'll have much more on this mean season of tornadoes. Why so many? Why so deadly this year? We'll have the answers tonight in depth. Up next, Paula Jones meets the press. She says she will appeal her case against the president.
I was shocked because I believe that what Mr. Clinton
area. The storm rolled through, breaking windows, damaging several buildings, taking down trees and grounding power lines. So far, no fatalities have been reported from this afternoon's tornado, but some residents were cut by flying glass. The storm had high winds of 75 miles per hour and stretched 3 to 4 miles wide. Now, Governor Don Sundquist declared the downtown location a disaster area where several buildings have been damaged.
We just got word that also in southern Kentucky, 3 people are dead after a storm system moved through there. So
just some powerful storms.
We're Hopkinsville,
Kentucky.
I think that may have been earlier this afternoon at about the same time that the Nashville storm was taking place. There was a whole series of supercells, tornadic supercells in that area. In fact, it was a Bowling Green, Kentucky, I believe, had a tornado along with 3-inch diameter hail. That's like what baseball, almost softball size hail. So some pretty intense stuff there. We just dodged the bullet once again. Quite lucky. I think I mentioned this earlier, but I thought it was quite ironic. Yesterday, a couple of meteorology friends of mine were talking in the weather office what effects a tornado might have if it hit a downtown area or metropolitan area, or what effects the city might have on the tornado. And wow, how ironic that 24 hours later we get our answer. Anyway.
Don't talk about downtown Monroe.
Yeah, we're going to stay away from that. Here's a look at WeatherNet 10 right now as we check it out. The real-time current conditions right here at the studios. This is updated every 2 seconds, and right now we have a north to northwesterly wind. It's been blowing in at about 5 to 10 miles per hour or so as a cold front has now made it through the area. Temperature dropping off nicely. We're down to 68 now, and the dew point really dropping off, and that is really nice. Earlier today we had dew point temperatures in the low 70s, so if you saw the haze or window to show you what was going on. I want to explain something to you. A lot of people, as we were watching the live coverage, were saying, I don't see it. I don't see it. Well, I'm going to explain to you why you didn't see it. Here it is behind me. This is it up here. You can see the rotation of the storm as it's moving through. Very good video of that. But you don't see the funnel cloud. Why don't you see it? What is a tornado? It's air. That's all it is. It's a violently rotating column of air. You can't see air unless it picks something up. Most of the time we can see tornadoes because it picks dirt up off the ground or it picks other debris up. Now, if it's moving through downtown, the asphalt jungle, concrete, no dirt, you're not going to be able to see it. And that's why most people were caught off guard by this tornado as it moved through the downtown parts of Nashville. They just couldn't see it, but it was definitely there. We saw the damage and destruction that it did cause. And look at the way that storm is rotating and blowing the person holding the camera all over the place as they had winds well over 150 miles per hour in downtown Nashville. On to our weather we go, and it's a quieter weather pattern that we're shaping up for us. You can see right through the heart, high pressure's moving in, cool high pressure from Canada, temperatures in the 40s in some places.
Of the tornado in Nashville. The twister cut a 3 to 4 mile swath through Nashville itself. The governor has declared that area a disaster area. Now, you've seen it from the ground. This is what it looked like from a tower cam. This view of the tornado moving from right to left across your screen is from the WKRN-TV tower cam, again, as it moved right through the downtown area, causing extensive damage. And here is some of the damage. Hundreds of buildings were damaged in the downtown area. Bricks from several buildings near Riverfront Park spilled out into the streets. Again, there were reports of 25 to 30 injuries there. One person critical as a tree fell on them, but no fatalities around the Nashville area. Nashville was under 3 different tornado warnings during the course of the day, so it was a very, very bad day across Kentucky and Tennessee. Now the emphasis shifting a little bit farther to the south. This is a close-up of the Atlanta area, and I wanted to show you this supercell thunderstorm right here. There are tornado warnings out right now for Etowah County. That is just expiring, but DeKalb County in northeast Alabama, Cherokee County, that is in Alabama, these 2 counties right here, and farther to the north, Walker and Catoosa counties which are these counties right here, for these two different cells, those are the only cells that have tornado warnings out for them at the present time. Now, again, Birmingham is right in here. Looks like this cell has definitely missed to the north, more developing to the west. Atlanta, I know you're nervous about this too. It looks like this cell will move north of Atlanta, and this cell will move just south of Chattanooga or through the Chattanooga area, and then eventually move on over into North Georgia and western areas of North Carolina. Those cells have to be watched closely. Obviously, they can put down tornadoes at any time. Doppler radar is indicating some rotation in both of those supercells. We'll keep you updated here, but if you're away from your television, you can always check us out online at our online service.